What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Allen, and this is the Movie Minute. This episode of the Movie Minute, we are talking about Alien Romulus. If you're looking for a non-spoiler review from a filmmaker perspective, let's jump on in. When Alien came out in 1979, it truly redefined the genre of horror quite a bit. I mean, the idea of a sci-fi horror wasn't something that a lot of people had experienced at that point, and it was done so very well and has become known as maybe one of the best, if not the best, science fiction horrors of all time. It's been a world that we love to go back to. Ridley Scott really brought us something special with the original Alien. James Cameron then came along and gave us Aliens, which, much like the movie, it kind of morphed the film into this sci-fi action as opposed to sci-fi horror. And he did it nearly perfectly. I mean, the movie is incredible. And then we had Fincher's Alien 3, which some would say is fairly bad, but I've heard the director's cut is great, and I've never actually seen it. Something on my list for sure. And then Alien Resurrection was quite the failure. And then we had Ridley Scott come back and bring us Prometheus. And as much as Prometheus had failings, I enjoyed Prometheus quite a lot. I just loved the expansion of the mythos, the world, the history of the Xenomorphs. I really enjoyed that. And obviously peppered in between, we had Alien vs. Predator. And then Alien Covenant came out and was maybe not so great, but still enjoyable to a certain degree. And so I was really looking forward to Alien Romulus. It's set in between Alien and Aliens. And so that alone had me excited. There's something about a horror film and an action film dealing with xenomorphs that just sparks something inside you, doesn't it? The plot of Alien Romulus is about a group of space colonists who go up to a derelict ship, Romulus, to do basically a salvaging operation. And when they're up there, they encounter the xenomorphs, the perfect killing machine, the perfect organism in the universe. And then it just becomes a story of survival. Who can survive, right? That's the essence of all Alien films, is who can defeat or survive this perfect killing machine. So let's jump in and talk about a few of the things that I liked. First and foremost, above all else, this film really captured the vibe and the essence of the original Alien films. And it did that in a lot of cool ways, but really mainly most of the effects in this film were practical. They built the aliens. They were animatronics and props. And there's something about when a film makes things that way that really adds to the feel of the film. It feels more real. Even though VFX is getting incredibly good, when you use practical effects as much as humanly possible, there's just a feel to the movie that you can't get from VFX. Another thing that I loved was the performances. Cailee Spaeny and David Jonsson do a very, very good job in portraying their characters. You are bought in immediately in who they are and what they're about. And I just love it when a movie starts out very strong in developing a care and a desire to want to see these characters live and succeed. That is the core of enjoying a film, is rooting for people. The film also has an incredible atmosphere, and the atmosphere really, once again, feels like the original movie. It feels like Alien. It feels like Aliens, and there's something so special about that. I smiled a lot in this film just because of the atmosphere. The set design is incredible. Even the VFX shots that they did do, you can tell they did a style that matched the original films because of where it falls in the timeline, and I appreciated that deeply. They also really nailed the interactions with the xenomorphs. There's just so many moments in this film that are homages to the old films, and just so many little action sequences and scenes that just honor the mythos. And I loved that. It really captured me and I enjoyed it. The first thing that I didn't love about the film was the first thing that I didn't love about the film, I didn't necessarily hate it, but the story was a little bit of a stretch. There were just things in the story where it felt a little bit outside the realm of believability. I talk a lot about the suspension of disbelief. That's something in movies that is very important. And I think there was a few moments that it just didn't feel quite right. It was still cool. There's some cool, amazing moments, but they just, in terms of the story, felt a little bit outside of the reality that we were in. And that took me out of the film a couple times. I also think that although Cailee Spaeny and David Jonsson's characters were very good performances, I think they really struggled to decide who was the main character. I think they both have significant character arcs, but it's like they struggled to really balance those arcs well together, and it just felt a little clunky at times. With those story issues, Act 3 just felt a little bit weak. From an entertainment standpoint, this film was just straight entertaining. I mean, I was truly entertained the entire time this movie was going. So I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10 for entertainment. From a critic standpoint, I mean, the script does kind of bring it down a little bit just because it felt weak compared to everything else. And so I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 from a critic's rating. But averaged out 8 out of 10 for me for Alien Romulus. It really was fun. From a badge standpoint, this is absolutely a popcorn bucket. I had so much fun in this film. I think that if you're a sci-fi fan, if you're a horror fan, if you're an Aliens fan, obviously you're going to go see this movie. But this movie is just fun. And I will say the horror aspects are not that crazy. Like, you're not scared a lot through the movie, but I will say the movie has some very intense gross out moments. I mean, there are some cringe, like, there were a couple moments in this film where I literally felt like Chunk from the Goonies. Like,
then I made a noise like this.
Alien Romulus is an incredible addition to this cinematic world. I would say it's fairly easily the best Alien film since Aliens. All the elements that we love about Alien is there, and that makes this film quite worthy of seeing in the theater. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe. Would love to have you a part of this community with me. And until next time, everybody, peace out.